having money to make the change. Or the upgrade, they have to change even without having money. And I think we're going to go to the upgrade. And the upgrade could delay some aspects and can actually push another aspect. I can give you an example. As president of my university, my institute, I have 6,000 students of engineers. These 6,000 students of engineers, 1,000 of them this year were not able to pay tuition fees. Okay, they were enrolled, but they could not pay. They asked me for what kind of schemes to pay later, to see how we can do, and so on. So either I actually promote it just very fast, or next year I'll be 4,000, because I'll lose 1,000 this year, 1,000 next year, and in 3 years I'll be with 2,000 students, because they no longer can afford the structure as it is. And why do I need the money? To actually run places like this, with all the costs that we have in the system. So the change is going to be, as I said, driven also by economical factors, but mostly because we are forced to it. Nobody's going to say, I'm glad that we have the change. Well, they can say it, but they are not glad they have the change. They're going to be forced into doing the change. And by having this understanding is something which, again, it's not your accent, it's the attitude gives you away. You are a European. The Asian population already understood that. The Asian universities, they say, well, we need to reshuffle, we need to do it again, we need to have the conditions where the students are. I was in Guangzhou a few months ago in China, in Canton, and basically they already understood that. They have 30,000 engineering students in the university with nothing to do with it. And they are doing very PBL approaches, they are doing group learning approaches. They are doing a lot of things which we still are not doing it, and with the right structure. So I think we're going to change. I don't know how long. If my good friend Jörg Steinbach, the president of the university, would be here, I would immediately ask him to reply in this situation in the TU Berlin. But I think all of us are going to have to change, otherwise we'll die. Yes, Elaine.
To discuss these terms with your deans and with your faculty, how successful have you been in your university, and what are the challenges of making this change happen?
Okay, let me resort to the current issue, the population. Christ was not able to make the changes in their own land. So I think you're already getting some of the answers to that. It's much easier for me to actually promote changes in other institutions, which I'm doing, than in my own. It's true. Nobody actually believes in my university. I'm an expert here, but I'm just the guy they know for many years, which is now talking nonsense. They didn't commit me yet to any kind of loony bin just because they don't know how to do it. And that's the problem, because you cannot be an apostle or a preacher in your own neighborhood. It does not work, trust me. So for you, what I'm trying to do is to tell you, you came here, you heard to me and you say, well, this guy from abroad, tell us to do that. Then you have a small chance of actually trying to manage. If you say, oh, I have this idea, forget it. It will not work.
All right. You've given us your expression of what the students feel about the organization and what the people at the top, the president and the rectors feel. You've not given us what you think the professors feel or think about the organization.
Well, most of them are confused. They used to be in a place where they knew what they were doing. Some of them were even hired to teach, imagine. And now they are going to tell you, well, how much did you publish? What have you done in terms of management? How many degrees do you put in before? What are the new courses you did? What kind of thing do you want to do in management? How many projects did you get with the industry? Basically, they don't know what to do. So they try to, well, some of them try to do everything, and it's a disaster. Some focus in one thing and say, well, you're just doing research, you're no good. Or you're just giving good lectures, come on. Are you a professor or something? So all of that, the changes that they are really confused. There's not a guideline for a good professor anymore. Well, there is. You have to be a super person, Superman or Superwoman. Once you do everything, then it's okay. If you're rated as Superman, it's okay. But then there's a problem. I tried that before, as I'm getting old. The problem is not just to get to be a Superman. You have to keep being a Superman. And that's the hard thing. There's a couple of years where you do the thing and you go that, you do that, and you go research, you do pedagogic, you do management, you do all the things, and then, wow, this year you haven't done anything. No, next year you didn't done anything. And that's the problem, because then you're being pressured by all the things to keep on doing until you die. And I think we have more people having suicides and heart attacks in education than before, probably because of it.
Two questions. First, according to sustainability, if we pass from higher education to mass education, it is not sustainable. Because if we have all of our students arrive to the top level, then who is going to do the work? All of us will
That's a good concept. The bosses will not work. Good.
And the second one is the labor market. Because I think it has no sense to think of education if we don't think first on the labor market. Because at this moment, with robotics and so, it's not like in the last century where you have a lot of workforce for agriculture or for everything. At this moment, you need no low qualified employment, and high qualified employment is very, very little, because you need few people to run a big organization. So what do you think about the labor market and the mass education?
Okay. Now, first of all, the mass education is not an option. It's there. So you can fight as much as you want. But you're now competing with Stanford, Harvard, MIT already, and you will be competing with many more of those long players. And when you in Spain look into someone around, they are not competing now more for the university X, Y, or Z around. They are competing global-wise. And then some of them might want to get their degree online with MIT and presently in one of the top universities in Spain. So that's one of the problems that you can get from them. So it's not how you do it, but you have to do it. The problem is, how do you adjust that with quality? And that's the current issue. It's very easy to do online courses, even massive online courses. Now, edX is aiming for classes to be spread to 1 million people at the same time. So the professor will be speaking for 1 million people at the same time and will be running 1 million people homework and this kind of thing. This is already happening now. It's not a dream. I was in San Jose in California State, and they are doing the pilot there, and it's working at this level. 250 people are attending several classes of Stanford already. 250,000, people are attending this kind of thing. So it's not a if, it's going to happen, and then we need to guarantee quality. And one of the things